Welcome everybody. I'm going to be showing you here how to dive into this activity that I spent the end of last week putting together. It's called the Random Village. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is click on the binder link. Okay, and this is going to take a little while to load, especially if it's the first time that you're running it. So while we're waiting for it to load, I'm just going to cut the video real quick. Alright, now that the notebook's actually loaded, and you know that it's loaded, by the way, when the stripes that are moving on the sides of these cells have stopped. Now that the notebook has been fully loaded, I'm going to show you how to turn it in. Okay, you're not going to turn it in yet because you haven't done the assignment yet, but just want to get this out of the way. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to Control plus on my keyboard just to zoom in a little bit. You can Control minus to zoom out. Okay. To turn this in, you're going to go to this Export button at the top, click Static PDF, and this is going to save the file as a PDF. Okay. Let's call this Random Village 1 so that we don't lose it. Okay. And then if we go to our downloads folder, should be in here somewhere. There it is. And we have a nice PDF. Okay. So now what we can do is now obviously you're going to turn this in on the actual assignment, not on this, but we're going to add a file. And voila. Okay, so then you can click turn in. Cool. All right. Now, in terms of saving your progress, I thought there was going to be a good way to do it, but unfortunately, it actually doesn't work very well. So, the solution is you guys just have to remember to keep this tab open on your browser until you're done with the assignment. Or, you can export a PDF and then just use the PDF to copy your stuff back into the assignment, but I feel like leaving the tab open is easier. Or just use your class time wisely and, finish it on time. All right, so now that we've got all the saving stuff out of the way, let's talk about the Random Village. So why are we doing this? Well, basically, I thought it might be helpful for you all, having worked with rugs and found the expected outcomes of throwing darts at rugs, right? You can all do the math, but that seems very theoretical, right? It's not really clear. Like, yeah, sure, you found some kind of, you can say that Crystal's expected winnings are $2 from this game, right? But what does that actually mean? And I thought it might be helpful to actually simulate some random events and see how the expected value appears when you run random events over and over again, okay? Random processes. So that's the goal today. And let's start by naming our random village. So you can see that there's like a little blurb here that says, in a magical land, you're the mayor of a village called Expecto Valisi. I don't really like that name though, Expecto Valisi. It's really weird. I think, since I'm Mr. Goldman, I think that the village should be called Goldmania. And let's see. What will citizens of your village be called? How about one of them will be called Goldmanian, right? Singular. And then the plural, it's multiple Goldmanians. Okay. Oh, and let me make sure that I've run all these cells. So once you've typed something into a cell, okay, the code's not going to get run until you either press Shift-Enter, like that, and you can see that the name of the village changed down here. So yeah, to run it, either press Shift Enter or you can click this Run Cell button. Okay, so let's do that for the Goldmanian and for Goldmanians. Oh, and look, it changed. Cool. All right, so now you know how to run cells. Basically, this programming language that we're working in is called Julia, and anytime that you type into a cell and press Shift Enter or run the cell by clicking, the browser is going to run that Julia code, okay? And it's going to make the output affect other stuff that's happening on the page, okay? We're not going to do too much coding. You know, this isn't a programming class. Most of it will be kind of explained for you. But if this is something that you want to, you know, dive further into, look up the Julia programming language. Okay. So, in a magical land, you are the mayor of a village called Goldmania. Obviously, whatever you named your village, it'll be different. It is your job to make sure the village has food. So every day you send out 3 groups of Goldmanians to forage. Hunters to hunt meat, gatherers to gather fruits and vegetables, and wizards to make pizza. You suspect that one group is bringing home more food than the others, and you will test this theory using expected value and probability. Okay, so we're going to try to see if the hunters bring home the most food, the gatherers bring home the most food, or the wizards bring home the most food, and how that actually works in practice. Cool. So, when the Goldmanian hunters go hunting, they can carry back at most 1 animal. The most common animals in the area are rabbits. Turkeys are somewhat rarer. However, sometimes a hunter has bad luck and can't bring back anything. Here are the foods that hunters can bring back. Okay, so it looks like they have a 14 out of 47 chance of bringing back no food, which is obviously 0 calories. They have a 20 out of 47 chance of bringing home a rabbit, which is 188 calories. And they have a 13 out of 47 chance of bringing home a turkey, which is 235 calories. Okay, so you can think of this as like almost like a 3-sided die. You know, I mean, such a thing doesn't actually exist in a form that you can roll, but, you know, you can also think of it as a random number generator that either generates no food, a rabbit, or a turkey each time it's run, and with these probabilities. Okay, let's run a simulation using the values from the table. First, we need to set up something called a univariate distribution with the probabilities from the table. Okay, I wouldn't worry about this too much. But basically what we're doing is we're just putting the probabilities and the calories into Julia. So we're going to type this code. And I actually recommend typing it rather than just copying and pasting it, just because I find that you can understand it a lot better if you are going over each part. Okay, so we're going to make something called a hunter distribution. Okay. And that's equal to a discrete non-parametric. Okay, and this thing just means that it's going to pick values with particular values with particular probabilities. Okay, what values it's going to pick from? Well, we're going to have it pick from the calories from the table. Okay, so the hunter foods table. And make sure you're typing everything exactly. And then we're going to have the probabilities for those values come from the probability column of the table. Okay, so Shift Enter, and voila, we have our distribution. Okay, so essentially what we've done is we told Julia to create a 3-sided die called hunter dist. Okay. And rolling this die simulates sending a hunter out for food. The outcome of this hunt, calories, takes on the calorie values listed above with the probabilities listed above. Okay, so now let's simulate 5 of our hunters going out for food. Okay, type the following code into the cell below exactly as you see it, and remember to run the code. Okay, so hunters, we're going to make a new variable called hunters5. That's going to be equal to a random randomly generated list, okay? Okay, so this function rand, you can actually open up the live docs if you want and click on anything and it'll tell you what it is. So rand, what does it do? It picks a random element or array of random elements from the set of values specified by S. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with rand. We're going to have it pick a random value from the Hunter distribution. And actually, we don't just want one random value, we want 5 random values. Okay, so let's shift enter. Okay, now we got a list of numbers. What are those numbers from? Well, remember the calorie counts from the turkeys and the no food and the rabbit. Okay, they're 0, 188, and 235. Okay, so what it did effectively was, okay, this is the first hunter. The first hunter came back with nothing. Okay, second hunter came back with nothing as well. The third hunter came back with 188 calories, a rabbit. And then the fourth and fifth hunters each came back with a turkey, 235. Okay. If we keep pressing Shift Enter, we'll get different values. Okay, so it's like each time we press Shift Enter, the hunters randomly go out and they catch food. Okay. So now we have a list of 5 random calorie values, each of which is equal to 0, 188, or 235. Okay. So now let's see, okay, what's the mean? What's the average of these values? Well, one way we could do this is we could go 235 plus 235 plus 0 plus 188 plus 188, and then divide that by 5. And that would give us the mean as 169.2. But it's kind of a pain to type out every single number, especially when the list gets long. So we're just going to write, okay, so we're going to define a new variable called hunter mean 5. And Julia has this handy dandy mean function where you can just put in the name of the list of numbers and it'll automatically give you the average, the mean. Okay, so the mean of this is 169.2, and you'll find that if you rerun the simulation, you get new values, you get a new mean. Cool. All right, so we have 131.6 as our mean. Okay, so your job is now using what you've learned from here, okay, the rand function takes the hunter distribution, okay, from this table, and you know, it generates, if you put the second number in, it'll generate 5 values. If it's 5, it'll generate 20 values if it's 20. Okay, your job is to apply this knowledge. So you're going to simulate 256 hunters going out for food in the cell below. Okay, you're going to find the mean of hunters 256. Okay, and you're going to explain what that value represents. And then you're actually going to do an expected value calculation. Okay. One thing that you might find useful when you're doing your expected value calculation is you don't actually have to put the final number in here. You can actually put in expressions like 1/2 times 5 plus 2/3 times 10 or whatever. That's not correct. But once it is correct, this thing will change to say, woohoo, you're correct, or whatever, right? Gonna explain what that value means. And then you're going to answer some questions about what you did. And you're gonna go through, each group has its own probability distribution, its own ways of coming up with different types of food. And you're gonna see which group is the best at gathering food. Okay, and then finally you will answer some questions down here. All right, once you're done, again, remember, export as a PDF and turn it in on Google Classroom.